Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
What's up? It's Mr. Malibu here.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
It's more about the connections we've made more than anything else, more about how all of us who do this podcast together are a family. That's really what it's all about.
This podcast is really about determination. You will not find a more determined group of people to get things done and to succeed. It's not like succeeding in your team. You want to have fun while doing this. So it's about determination. It's about loving what we do, having each other, making the connections. It's more about the connections than the actual subscribers or views. It's about how close we've all come with each other. It's about the family. It's about the feels. And we love it. And we love having the feels together. We love the connections we've made. We love the family aspect we've got. Determination and dedication. And most importantly, this podcast is about family and feels.
Hello, my name's J-Man Powerhouse, and welcome to the Life is Feels podcast.
Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
Don't steal my entrance, J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13, the better one.
What's up? It's Mr. Malibu here.
And Steven Jackson 13.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
J-Man Powerhouse. You're listening to the Life is Feels podcast. We hope you stick with us and go through all the emotions and all the feels. The Life is Feels podcast starts right now.
Beaver Creek?
That's where our grandparents live. They'll probably help us.
Oh my.
They're family, right?
Did you hurt that police officer in Seattle?
I don't know. All I know is that on the ground, he shot Dad, and now he's gone.
Oh, sweetie.
You two are gonna stay with us. This is your home now. Keep your heads low around here. Beaver Creek is small and nosy.
We have to be extra careful out here.
I should have known you were something I need.
Focus. You can do this. Like a boss.
I did it!
It's time to go over the rules. The first one. Hide your power.
Stop it, you crazy?
The second rule is...
never talk about it.
because that's usually the hardest rule for you.
Did you see that?
And the final rule?
Avoid danger?
Run from danger.
Come on!
This is the most important one.
Be careful, Sean. He's still so young. He needs you more than anything else.
I see you. You got a crush on me or something?
Got ya!
Daniel?
Leave me alone!
Do it, Daniel! Now!
Hey guys, it's Steven Jackson 13.
And J-Man Powerhouse.
And welcome to episode 32 of the
weird.
Life is Feels podcast, entitled Life is Strange 2, Episode 2, Rules. That's right, things are backwards and twisted because on this episode we are breaking the rules. We have switched roles for the day.
This is probably the worst idea we've ever come up with. And I feel like the breaking our rules is going to make us lose like 87 subscribers that we don't have. So
That
it's going to make us
that would
lose.
be because of you.
It's going to make us... Yo, don't break my rules and my ego in the same episode, man. That's...
Shut up, dog!
Yo, chill! Don't tell my dog to shut up. We're not switching personalities, we're switching rules and roles, ass. And by the way, that also means you have to edit now. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
So how you been, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to get into this Life is Strange 2 and see what you got.
I don't know if this is such a good idea, but anyway, I guess it's time to get reckless and break the rules. So the second episode picks off the last episode. I told you I was going to be terrible at this. After the two brothers were helped by Brody, we get a recap of Daniel and Sean on the run, and the episode starts with Sean trying to get Daniel to use the, and I quote unquote, force to lift rocks. And you can basically help train Daniel here. You examine the objects around the cabin. Oh, I went too far. Well, yeah, there's anything you have to say about the part where you train Daniel?
I noticed after I chose that there's a way you can throw a snowball at Daniel and at Mushroom. I did not take that option. I thought it was a little rude. But, yeah, I decided not to throw it at the dog. I did throw it at his face to see if he'd catch it, and he didn't catch it. So the second one I threw a little bit off, and it actually worked out. So, your choices?
I threw the snowball at Daniel's face. I'm an asshole. No.
No, the real assholes were the ones that threw it at Mushroom.
That poor dog, though. Anyway, yeah. I really... Yeah, I don't know if I like this role. No. You can get water, so you can get water for the canteens, and Daniel uses his power to make it easier. You can either encourage him to increase his strength, or, I'm not going to use this word, chastise him for using his powers, I guess, when he doesn't need to use them. And that affects how Daniel develops his power. And you can also encourage or discourage the use of his foul language.
Right. What'd you do?
I can't believe the word in here is chastised. But anyway, I kind of told him not to use his powers carelessly.
I told him he had to be more careful.
That's what I mean. That's what I did too.
I also chose for him to swear a little bit. I figured, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swear. Go for it.
Go for it as in let me talk, or go for it as in that's what you let him did?
Both.
Okay. Well, you never let me talk, so I doubt it's actually both. You can then go to a cabin and look up the things, look around the metal box in the abandoned treehouse. Daniel brings down the metal box, and you guys keep it. Nothing really big here. We get to a cutscene, go into the house. The only small thing here is the 3 rules in the cabin are don't show off, don't talk about the powers, and always run from danger. You also have the choice of telling him to never use his powers, or only use his powers during dangerous situations. What did you think about that part?
Well, I thought...
Like,
controlling how he uses his powers.
Well, at the same time, I wanted him to use his powers for good, not for evil, but I didn't want to hound him and be like, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. I gave him a little bit of free range, but I kind of had him reeled in at the same time.
Yeah. Same. I held it in. You go over to the stove and prep it to cook a meal. There's all kind of small stuff.
Actually, I thought it was funny.
You'll find that, well, I'm going to get to the funny part. You'll find a lighter on the desk by newspapers with Daniel and Mushroom. After making the meal, you can sketch outside area by going outside with the notebook and sketching out the still life. Did you go outside and sketch?
I did not. I did not know that was an option at that area.
Can I be honest? I actually did neither until reading this playthrough. So, the meal will be ready. They eat. Daniel then continues to use his powers anyway. And again, you get to encourage Daniel to keep hiding, or keep protecting him on hiding his powers. Go into the tent, get the map. I guess the map was sort of a big thing here. In the grand scheme of things, the map's a big thing.
Right.
Daniel, I guess this is big too. After telling Daniel that they need to go with their grandparents, you guys can play a board game. I'm not going to talk about what you can draw on Daniel's bag unless you want me to, although the one thing is a very good bonding moment. If you draw what you should draw, wolf on it. The other thing I'm not going to say because that's just weird. Did you draw a wolf in the bag, and did you even win the game?
I did win the game, and then I thought about it, and I figured, he is my brother, and we need to work together, so I ended up drawing the wolf, yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to be honest, I didn't draw the wolf.
Wow! So what did you feed him?
What did I feed him? I forget.
Yeah.
I think it was soup.
Ravioli.
I think.
You had your choice. You had your choice of ravioli.
Stop it! This is my job.
You missed the ravioli.
That's weird. This is like going through the things you get to choose, and it's not telling me anything about. Oh nope, ravioli. There it is. Anyway, you get to take the dog outside to. This says, so what am I going to say? I'm just going to say, take outside to do his business. And Sean can smoke a title cigarette. Will smoke a cigarette as the title screen comes on, and this website says 1 whole hour after the episode starts. And then we get the title that says Episode 2 Rules. Thoughts on the opening?
I didn't even realize that was an hour.
I think this thing's over exaggerating.
No, I knew it was pretty long, but I didn't think it was an hour.
It wasn't. I guess timeline wise, maybe it was. I don't know. I think this writer's just being a jerk.
No, I think he's if you go and search for everything and sketch everything and whatnot, it might take an hour.
Okay, wow. What was your thought on the opening of episode 2?
I thought it was beautiful. Walking through the snow, it actually left your prints behind. I did notice that they had a 2-headed snowman, which I thought was interesting because what? It wasn't terrible. It was actually a decent place to held out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it was all right. Interesting. I named the episode. But the beginning thing where Sean it's kind of like a thing of Degrassi, where they bring back the the previously in Life is Strange. You know what I mean? Like, you get
Right.
it, like, sometimes in, like, other games, like, and I feel like in TV shows, too, that's a good thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that it was a good start. I don't think it was 7 hours long, or however long this person said it was. But it was. I can't believe you threw mushroom at. You threw the mushroom. You threw the snowball at mushroom.
No, I didn't say I threw it at Mushroom. I said people have thrown it at Mushroom. I did not throw it at Mushroom.
Why didn't you throw it at mushroom?
Because I'm an animal lover. I'm not going to hit the dog. Plus, if Daniel was too slow, it would hit the dog anyway.
What?
If Daniel was too slow and not able to catch the snowball, it would have hit Mushroom anyway. I'm not going to do that.
You're not?
Did you hit Mushroom?
Maybe.
You are a horrible, horrible person.
I know. I didn't mean to be a horrible person this time. It just kind of happens because, you know, life is strange. I didn't want to hit mushroom, but then, like, I did. You know?
That's pretty much how it goes.
Well, yeah, but, like, this game is meh. Okay, whatever. So the only other big thing that was involved there was the map. The map is the only thing that is important. So we head now, it's several hours later, after the sky has darkened, and we finished a ravioli that I forgot existed. What's a rock? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, yeah, I messed up for the first time. I'm sorry. We head to the next day as the brothers prepare to leave the cabin behind. Mushroom is saying he has to go outside and do his business again. They let Mushroom outside by himself, which probably isn't the best idea. After a few minutes pass and Mushroom doesn't come back, Daniel realizes that Mushroom hasn't returned and goes out to find her while Sean finishes packing up. When Mushroom didn't come back right away, what did you think happened to him?
Honestly, I didn't know what happened to him, but at the same time, I had this thing in the back of my head saying, oh God, don't tell me something bad's happened. Maybe he got caught in one of these traps. Maybe he went too far and is in the lake somewhere.
Yeah. Nothing else here. Eventually, Sean leaves the house because he's worried about Daniel, and Mushroom gets very violent as he sees a trail of blood in the snow coming from Mushroom's bandana. Finds Daniel in front of Mushroom's corpse by a agitated cougar. Daniel flips out, basically, as Sean tries to calm him down as I die. Daniel angrily pushes him back away and telekinetically ensnares the cougar. Ensnares the cougar. And then the choices you have here is you can either make Daniel step back or scare the animal off. And scare the animal off himself, resulting, I'm not going to say that. Or you can not interfere. What did you do?
As much as I wanted the one to happen so desperately badly, because I love dogs, I love all animals, so I actually told Daniel, to intervene. As much as I didn't like what happened, I also didn't want Daniel thinking he could use his powers for any reason.
Okay. Do you want me to say what happens? Or, I mean, it doesn't really...
It's your show, Ace.
Okay, well, if you make Daniel step back and scare the animal off himself, it results in the cougar dragging Mushroom's body away. And if you don't intervene, Daniel accidentally snapping the cougar's neck with its powers, and now the cougar's dead. So, animals dying everywhere in episode 2. You hold a makeshift funeral for Mushroom, regardless whether they have Mushroom's body or not. The brothers leave the cabin behind and begin their hike towards Beaver Creek. Rest in peace, Mushroom. What do you think?
I didn't know what to say, honestly. The game gave me 4 options.
It's Life is Strange. You knew someone was going to die eventually.
Well, I didn't expect it to be Mushroom after 1 episode.
Well, it just come out of nowhere. So.
Yeah, and apparently it went out of nowhere too.
Or Randy Orton out of nowhere.
No, I couldn't think of something to say, so the game ended up giving me 4 options. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out the decent way, and I said, thank you for protecting. So.
Oh, you're talking about the funeral. Yeah. I didn't really. There's not really, I mean. There's just a lot of dead animals. So we move on. I'm actually have not done a terrible job yet. I'm still somehow getting this along. Yet we're only in scene 3. So eventually, Sean and Daniel reach their grandparents' house, and the surprised woman named Claire and Stephen Reynolds, who quickly take them inside, finding out Daniel's sick. They eventually question Sean about his role in the Seattle accident. Sean tells them what really happened. Stephen decides to let the brothers stay in their home for the time being, while Daniel recovers from his fever. There's a scene later on where Daniel and Sean are in the bed guest room. Claire comes up to check on the brothers and offers to say a prayer, which them before they fall asleep, to which Daniel and Sean can individually either accept or refuse. What did you do?
Well, me being an actual religious person, I chose to pray and pray with Daniel.
Same. After Claire leaves, Sean and Daniel ask each other about the latter's power and their mother, respectively, before falling asleep. Yes. Original thoughts on the grandparents. Because later it says a week later, so we're going to get the original thoughts on the grandparents first.
I played Captain Spirit first, so I was kind of shocked that Claire... See, I didn't know it was the same Reynolds as Captain Spirit.
Yeah, I didn't either.
When I saw Claire open the door, I'm like, oh my god, it's them! Steven was cool. I warmed up to Steven very quickly.
That's because your name's Steven, you ass.
Claire, I thought Claire was too judgmental.
Clingy?
You know, just judgmental. I mean, you know, she's like, Daniel's sick and you didn't care for him properly, and I don't know why you're dragging him out into the wilderness, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I had my suspicions and my doubts about her. I was trying to be nice for Daniel's sake, but she just made it a little difficult.
Yeah, I'd say that I didn't know that, I I didn't know it was the same Claire either. And I also, maybe it's because I work with you, warmed up to Steven. So it's a week later. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, I'm good.
Sean wakes up to Daniel and Steven playing in the Ladders model rail. They're playing with trains, like those train board things that you play with as a kid. Actually, I still play with them now, so never mind. Claire calling them down for breakfast. Basically, it's just waffles and scrambled eggs. Daniel begins, small thing here, to use his powers to tidy the plates while Claire's back is turned. You can either stop Daniel from doing it or watch in awe. What did you do? Not that it...
What were the two options?
You can either let Daniel clean the dishes with his power, or you can let him, or just, watch.
Okay, I had him watch. I wasn't going to risk, him using his power. We're supposed to be keeping it hidden from people. I mean, I know they're our grandparents, but I didn't know if they had known he had powers or not. So I decided to keep those, kind of low-key. So I decided not to let him use them.
You then have a short confrontation with Claire over the secretness regarding their mother's room. Sean asks Steven for keys to the backyard shed in order to receive some toys for Daniel. Steven asks Sean to receive some glue for his cupboard. Sean obliges. Blah, 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 blah. The cupboard starts to fall over. Steven rushes over to stop it while apologizing. Blah, 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 blah. Steven tells Sean about noticing Daniel using powers over the past week, to which Sean, you can either tell him the truth or... I'm just going to put, or lie, by giving him the key to the shed. What did you do?
I honestly, like I said, I didn't know how much they knew about the powers and Daniel, so trying to keep it hidden, I chose to not reveal his powers yet.
Yeah, same. Sean runs into Claire, who's going on a walk. Sean asks Sean to do some chores. But Claire, Mom, I don't want to do no chores. After finding Daniel and telling him to clean their room, which he can either comply with or disobey through, I just said, sure, I'll clean my room. I mean, why not? Sean puts on his winter clothing, goes out backyard with Daniel. The shed lock won't open for some reason. Daniel witnesses, and this is kind of big here. Witnesses Chris, I got this, Erickson. Is that right?
Yeah.
Eriksen, Erickson.
Erickson, yes.
Daniel witnesses Chris Erickson, hey, I did something right for once, fall from his treehouse and saves him with his, this said tentacles, telekinesis, unintentionally, causing the latter to believe he has superhero powers. This is the first time we find out about Daniel's, well, it's the first time we see him use it in a heroic situation. Right, because the first time we saw him use it was at the end of episode 1, but we didn't know we were seeing him use it, right, because we didn't know what it was.
Right.
This is the first time you actually get to see him use it and know what it is. Like, right away, yeah. I knew this was telekinesis.
Right. Well, you also, well, at least I did, originally thought it was Chris that had the ability of
yeah, that too.
Floating, stopping himself, because, I mean, it is Captain Spirit after all. So I wasn't sure if he had, found a way of floating and starting to learn how to fly, or if one of the boys had done something.
Let's see. Unintentionally causing him. Chris gets up and becomes fast friends with Chris. Yeah, Charles, his dad, who I didn't even know how to name, runs outside and apologizes profusely to Chris before noticing the brothers, who he gives a cautious greeting to before leading Chris back inside. So this is the ending scene of Captain Spirit, right?
Yes.
So it ties everything back together. So I mean, eventually we have to do a Captain Spirit review, if you want to.
Yeah.
We head to the next morning, one day later. Sean, who just finds messages all over the place, finds a message left by Daniel saying that he went over to Chris's. Before going to find Daniel, Sean learns that Claire and Stephen are attending church. Has the options of using Stephen's laptop to check the news, logging into his Facebook, this autocorrection bookface file. No, I'm kidding. Facebook profile, and calling Lila on the Reynolds house phone. First, what did you choose?
I chose to stay off the internet. I don't know why I would use it or why I'd need. I figured internet can be tracked, but since they had a landline phone, I did decide to call Lila. Since I had thrown my phone away, I figured it was only proper to call her and tell her, I'm sorry I haven't called back. But,
Did you call Lila in episode 1?
I did. I figured I should let her know it's been a while since I talked to her.
Say what happens if you call her in episode 1? I mean, at this point,
we're in episode 2.
I don't really think it matters, right? If you're listening to this, you probably should have played episode 1.
Yeah, just keep it episode 2.
Okay, well, it basically says, it depends. So I'll just go, if you called Lila in episode 1, she'll pick up the phone here. That explains how the conversation goes. Basically, depending on if you call Lila in episode 1, defies if she's mad when you call her here or not. That's all I'm gonna say.
True.
You have arrived at the Erickson's house, as Sean discovers that Daniel's using his powers to uphold the illusion that Chris has superpowers. Charles exits from the bathroom and invites the brothers to go to them with the Christmas market, which right away I knew was a terrible idea. And after some reluctance, Sean accepts. Sean and Chris eventually bond over a guessing game over the toys. While Daniel's in the bathroom. Sean afterwards, Daniel exits the bathroom and they enter Charles' tuck and leave for the Christmas market. Anything? Or...
I mean, I protested of going uptown, but it seems like the game kind of forces you into going to the Christmas market.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I told you no, dang it, why are we still going uptown? I already told him no, and then, technically it's Chris's dad that coaxes Sean to go with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. While at the market, Sean meets a homeless musician named Cassidy and has the option of listening to a song. I don't know if I should say this. Should I say what the cover is or no?
What's that?
Listening to her song, a cover of... it says by who it's by, so...
No, just say that she sings a very beautiful song.
She sings a cover of a very beautiful song. They have a short conversation. Cassidy reveals that she travels with a group of fight hoppers currently headed towards Humboldt County, California. One of her friends, Finn, comes to get her, and the two exchange banter and introduce themselves to Sean and Daniel before leaving. On the way out, Finn and Cassidy are stopped by Nick, who, admonishes them for not having their dog on a leash. They mock Nick until he threatens to call the cops on them, then leave together. Daniel expresses anger toward Nick, and Sean can either let Daniel prank him, or convince him to let it go. What did you have Daniel do?
I immediately went prank. I figured, this guy's a jerk. I figured, we're hiding. He's already used it to help Chris. At this point, Cassidy and Finn were pretty cool, so I didn't know how they were going to prank, but I chose to prank him.
Same. We're both assholes.
Or both defenders.
Avengers?
Defenders.
I heard what you said.
Although Avengers would have been a better word.
Before leaving, Sean finds a present to give Daniel for Christmas, which can either be obtained from one of the shopkeepers or stolen from a toy donation box. Tell me you did not steal from the toy box.
I did both. The only reason I took the toy was because he said that Daniel had one when he was at the house, and I figured since we, had to leave the house in a hurry, it makes only sense that he should have what he had.
I never asked you, are we doing the ending the opposite way too?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
It'll be fine. But I also chose...
That means I have to say feels his life.
Yep. I also chose to buy a beaver, because I figure, I don't know what's going to happen.
Beaver Creek.
But as we're traveling to different states and different locations, I had a bear at the gas station from episode 1, so I figured, I'd buy a miniature bear to show that a miniature beaver to show that we were at Beaver Creek.
Is it sad that I bought a beaver too, but I also did steal?
You did the same thing I did.
Yeah, we seem to do that a lot in this game. Kind of creeping me out, actually. Maybe the rules doesn't matter. We're the same person. Maybe that's how this has worked for so long. Anyway, eventually, them home. He and Sean have a short conversation in his truck, during which Sean can confront him about his alcoholism and convince him to get help from Chris's maternal grandparents.
That's just a word for his mother's side.
I know, I'm just trying to think, did you talk to him about his alcoholism, or?
I did not confront him on his alcoholism because I figured it's none of my business. As far as he knows, Chris didn't open up to me about it. I'm sorry to people who have not played Life is Strange, but I didn't want Chris to get abused again. So I pretty much kept that to myself.
Same. Although, same, but I debated it for a while.
Yep, so did I.
Just because, and I'm not going to name names, but, I mean, I say this all the time, I know people have gone through this, it's the same with this, I know people who have done alcoholism, and I know what their mind state and relatable, so I debated it on it because of that.
And I grew up, my dad used to drink a 24-pack a day. I mean, he's gotten so much better, he's down to 4 cans a night, but I pretty much know...
4 cans of Sprite, man, Sprite is good for you.
Right? No, he does burners.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Burners hater.
Sean, no, I just want to move on. I don't really want to talk about alcoholism. Sean and Daniel enter the Reynolds house. Daniel asks Sean to let Karen... They want to see their mom's old room. After Chris talks about his mother, Sean decides to come with him to ensure that they don't leave any evidence. Find the key to the room inside Claire's again, while letting Daniel break the door open with his powers.
cardigan. It's
I found
basically
the
a
key
way of
by
saying it's basically a clothes holder.
I found the key myself. Because you're contradicting yourself if you say, yeah, don't use your powers for every single reason, and then you let him use his powers for every single reason.
Right. Now, see, I took a little long, and he says, let me just use my powers. And at this point, I'm thinking, no, you little vixen, I'm going to find the key. Leave it.
Yeah.
I did end up finding the key eventually.
Yeah, I found the key. Took me 20 minutes. Found the key.
So he yelled at you, too.
Yeah. I am used to being yelled at. In real life and in video games. No. Well, yes. But anyway, Sean and Daniel explore the bedroom, find a letter, which is the letter of many, from Karen among her belongings. Karen basically pleads for her parents to help Sean and Daniel should they find them after the Seattle incident, causing Daniel to believe that she wants to find them. He asks to reread the letter. Claire comes bursting in, and it got into a soap opera very quickly here. When Stephen angrily confronts them about violating their privacy and breaking their rule about not going in the room. At least Daniel didn't break the door.
Right.
What did you think about this confrontation? And this really made... I know how we talked about how Stephen is cool and all, but Stephen needed a chill pill here.
Actually, Stephen was still pretty chill in this scene. I mean, after Claire gets off a few good shots, Stephen walks out and says, I can't hear this. Claire said something that I didn't really expect any mother to say, and she says, she's not your mother and she's not my daughter anymore. She burned all those bridges. I'm sorry, no matter how much I hate my, no matter how much I dislike my child's decisions, I'm not going to say she's not my daughter anymore. So I thought that, I thought
not real.
I thought this part was a little uncalled for, but I mean, once we get to episode 4, it'll make more sense.
It does, but also it brings me back, and I don't think it did this for many people. It brought me back to Before the Storm. And because of the whole thing with the mom there. You know what I mean? It
right.
Sort of... And Life is Strange does a good job with that. They have a good job of... wow, we're actually almost done. They have a good job of tying things together. You know? So, right. It kind of reminded me, I knew it wasn't the same mom, at least I was hoping, because that would have been weird. Although, it would have made my conspiracy theory be right about how Rachel was the mom the whole time, which...
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted it to be Rachel.
Which, eventually, spoiler alert, Rachel's not the mom. The mom is John Cena. No, but I like how they tie things together. So
Jojo Siwa.
Jojo Siwa. Let's go. Let's see. Sean and Daniel argue with Claire over their right to know about their mother. Stephen becomes me in this situation, as I would do the same thing, and he just leaves. A few minutes later, a loud crash and Stephen's yell are heard from downstairs. The three rush to his workshop to find him underneath the cupboard. They try to lift it off, and you either tell Daniel to use his powers, or they pull him out together. You go first.
I chose not to use his powers. Like I said, I didn't know how much of the powers they knew, and I figured Claire's already mad. I didn't want to make matters any worse. So I had them work together to lift it.
Same. we need to pick different choices in further episodes. Let's see. Okay, so I think I got this right. If you lift it together, Steven's legs are permanently injured, right?
I don't know permanently right off, but I do know his knee becomes injured. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it tells you. I'm gonna die. It tells you what happens when you pick both options. And I think if you do it together, that's when his legs are injured. Soon afterwards, a sheriff rings the doorbell and reveals that he knows the brothers are here. They're here.
Dun dun dun.
Either due to someone seeing them at the market, Sean using Steven's laptop, or Sean using the phone to call Lila's home. To avoid incriminating their grandparents, Sean and Daniel escape through the back door. Man, this really turned into some Adventure Time crazy
that's what I got.
shit.
I ended up calling Lila, and it says that they had a GPS tracker located from somewhere from the house. And I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't have made the phone call.
Yeah, but the phone call was worth it.
Right.
Right. To avoid incriminating their grandparents, Sean and Daniel escape through the back door while Claire distracts the sheriff. So, did you tell Chris the truth?
I did not, just for the simple fact that we're still trying to keep it hidden and not showing it to the public. So I chose against him showing, using his powers or telling Chris the truth.
If Daniel tells Chris the truth, others come across Chris sitting on the backyard swing, realizing that the brothers have to leave. Chris gives Daniel his gives Daniel his cape and directs them towards a shortcut to avoid the police. As they leave, Daniel sees Chris making the Spirit Squad pose. Yay! Spirit Squad! From the top of the tree house and does the pose in return before running off with Sean. If you tell Chris the truth,
that'd be me.
Daniel either wasn't told to tell Chris the truth or disobeyed Sean. The brothers are spotted by a police car while cutting across the road. As the car drives toward them, Chris jumps out from his backyard and attempts to stop the car with his powers that he thinks he has. Or, if Daniel has been encouraged to use his powers, he will use them to swerve the police car off the road. Chris turns around to witness Daniel holding up his hand before being pulled away by Sean, and looks on in confusion and betrayal as the brothers run off. Or, 7 more choices, no. If Daniel was repressed from using his powers, he does nothing to stop the police car as it runs into Chris, and the brothers run away as Chris lies on the ground, unmoving, and I thought Chris was dead.
Now see, that's weird, because the car didn't hit him hard enough to kill him, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how bad this is. It might have broken his leg or injured him, but I knew that it didn't hit him hard enough to break anything. I mean, to kill him.
I didn't know that.
How do you not know that?
I don't know. I'm doing your job, okay? That's enough. Leave me alone. So what did you ultimately have happen here?
I sadly got Chris hit myself. I didn't know about the going out the back option, so I just bolted, and it showed the police car, and I'm like, oh god, he saw me. And then the moment they hit up the lights, it's like, yep, there it is.
Am I still here? I'm still here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Things to promote. So later on, Sean confronts Daniel of his remorse about how, I guess this doesn't matter, it happens either way, right? Yeah.
Right.
Later on, Sean confronts Daniel about his remorse regarding how he handled Chris's situation. They sit on a rock overlooking Beaver Creek Railroad. Sean gives Daniel his Christmas present, the beaver. Well, for me and Stephen, it was the beaver. And if Daniel isn't too upset, he gives Sean a drawing of him in exchange. Upon hearing a rumbling in the distance, oh my God, it's a bomb! No, I thought it was thunder. The brothers run down the hill and jump aboard a passing freight train, taking them out of Beaver Creek. The ending scene shows what looks like a greenhouse. Sean and Daniel can be heard talking to Cassidy. And that is the end of episode 2, Rules.
Yay!
This is terrible. Take your job back. No.
Did you have anything else you wanted to
add? Not really. I just think this outro is going to be a mess. Overall, I thought that F2, episode 2, Rules, Pools, John Cena Rules, whatever you want to call it. Overall, I thought it was good. I miss Brody. Feel bad for Mushroom. Really upset if Chris is dead. But apparently he's not, according to Steven. And I just think that Life is Strange continued to deliver well with a storyline that can be very controversial as it goes on. And I think they built Daniel and Chris's character well here.
All right, there you go. Wonderful job.
Right, so I don't know how the hell we're going to do this. I can't believe he actually just said I did a wonderful job at his job. I don't know. Maybe we'll do this again. Steven doesn't feel that well today, so maybe I'll just carry. I know he wants to do episode 4, though.
True Blue.
Because I feel like if I do episode 4, there's going to be scenes that'll make me want to throw something at a wall. So there might be that in the next episode too. So we'll see. I may do episode, I might not, depending on when we do it, depending on what else we're doing tonight. I can't do the outro because we've changed the rules. So
rules were meant to be broken.
I guess.
You can reach us at YouTube at Life is Feels Podcast. You can reach us at our email, lifeisfeelspodcast@gmail.com.
You can Yahoo.
You can tweet.
I still haven't done that yet, though.
You can tweet J-Man Powerhouse at his Twitter, mobile.twitter.com/JManPowerhouse.
Actually, it's not that anymore. It's you put down the HTTP link. It's
Oh, I didn't see that.
Twitter.com/@lifeisfeels, and it basically, for any updates or any info, I try and keep it as professional as possible. I have to unfollow some people. But anyway, that is not a dig at anyone, or maybe it is. Maybe Steven gets it. Maybe some listeners get it. That's not a dig at anyone, but you can follow us at Life is Feels, and that's our official Twitter. Steven's like, wow, he put the slow dig in there very low key.
Okay, J-Man, would you like to promote our merch?
Yes, although I don't know if there's any merch at this merch, but whatever. Threadless.com. This is weird, man. lifeisfeelspodcast.threadless.com / I think that's wrong, but whatever. It's lifeisfeelspodcast.threadless.com. Yeah, that's right. Sure, let's go with that.
Okay.
You can follow
tweet me.
Steven.
You can tweet me at StephenAlch13. Check out our music. Our partner Riley Hawk at Hawk Music. You can. All right, you're gonna have
go
to
to
do this
YouTube
one.
and Riley Hawk Music. SoundCloud, search Riley Hawk. HawkMusic.com. I love doing this. This is the only one I always get right. Her friends do something called Team Total Ducks where they play Life is Strange. For some reason, I still have a link in here for Life is Strange 2 Episode 1. But anyway, go subscribe to them on Team Total Ducks. Their Twitch is m.twitch.tv/Team Total Ducks/profile. Steven, who
you can check out Steve Fantasy at Steve _Fantasy. You can check
Fantasy. Oh, okay.
What?
StephenFantasyDesign.com.
Sorry. Visit Baby Cobra on Twitch at twitch.tv/BabyCobra. O'Ridden /Chrysalysis. 7 Cups. This is a free care and therapy for anybody needing counseling or someone to talk to. They are there to listen. Once again, that is free. And check out 7 Cups.
www.7cups.com. Don't read the Tiltify. It's not there anymore.
Would you like to finish? I know you're missing. You're missing it.
I am missing it to an extent, okay, I'll be honest here. But my favorite part is when I transition to what do you call it?
Let me rephrase that. You can finish the promotions.
My favorite part is when I transition to Riley Hawk and Team Total Ducks. So I'm good that I did that. You can follow us. I'll tell you this. You can follow us and look us up on Tiltify at Life is Feels Podcast. I'm still deciding the next thing I want to do. I have a suicide prevention fund up there right now because, that's always important. But we're going to do a couple other ones. Put the link in the description below. Or Steven will, since he took my role, because rules are broken. You can go to Wattpad and search my friend Curious Winchester 17. Do you want to donate to charity online every time you buy something? Well, go to www.easyfundraising.org.uk/causes/IOS-fund/ Again, that's www.easyfundraising.org.
So, this is Steven Jackson with episode 32 of the Life is Feels podcast, entitled Life is Strange 2, episode 2, where we have broken the rules. So, for Steven Jackson 13
and J-Man Powerhouse, I hate this format.
Remember, folks, always take the shot.
Feels is life.
And life is feels. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening.